Viewer discretion is advised.
After a decade of life getting in the way of my passion, I finally had the chance to go hunting this year, and I've been pursuing this particular buck since opening day. But he's managed to elude me all month, staying just out of range and ignoring any kind of grunt call I made. During that time, I've watched him spar with a smaller buck, make some scrapes, and I've even watched him walk away, antlers glowing in the moonlight, well past legal shooting light. However, everything changed on October 26th when my father and I set out together for the first time since my childhood. We were sitting in separate stands about 70 yards apart when this buck decided to make an appearance. As I was in a deep stare down with a doe trying not to get busted, he was approaching my father's stand. When he picked up a scent he didn't quite like. This made him turn and make a beeline for me. Unaware and unable to turn around and look behind me, I could hear him blowing and headed my way. Before I could fully process what was happening, he was right underneath me. And I could finally see him, just 10 yards away. Before I had a chance to stand up, formulate any kind of plan, or even get any camera rolling, I pulled back my bow and let the arrow fly. I was definitely not going to let my desire to film my hunt stop me from capitalizing on this opportunity. We have played this cat and mouse game for long enough. Tonight, it was going to end. I winced as I watched that lighted green knock land further back than I'd cared to admit, and definitely higher than I'd like to have hit. He ran about 60 yards before stopping behind a tree just out of my line of sight. Now at this point, the stagnant sound of silence filled the woods for what felt like an eternity. Then suddenly, I began hearing what sounded like him going down. A feeling of relief came across me as I tried to rationalize in my mind that a 10-yard shot this high up in a tree had to have caused some vitals. It's too steep of an angle not to have. So I climbed down, checked the blood, and then went up to the house to discuss with my father and try to formulate some kind of plan of what we're going to do. After some discussion, we decided to play a little on the safer side and give him an hour or so before we got out there and tried to track him. An hour later, we were following his trail, and his trail seemed to get weaker and weaker as the time went on. And this gut-wrenching feeling kept creeping up. I knew I shouldn't have rushed that shot, but when the biggest buck of your life is standing in front of you, all that practice, all those things you say in your head before you shoot, kind of go out the window. But lucky for me, there he was, laying just where I last saw him. Now I feel incredibly blessed to have finally harvested this animal, especially knowing I did it alongside the man who introduced me to this whitetail pursuit. But now it's time to take a few pictures, get him dressed, get him dragged up to the house, and get him processed. And that's it for my first entry into the harvest log. Guys, thanks for listening. Until next time.